Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you just canceled out my question, but anyway, I don't know if you heard about this, but seems like Francis wants to come back, and he says he changed his mind. Would you be open for him to come back if he really wants to, and then if he says okay to your conditions?
Francis says he changed his mind and he would consider coming back to the UFC. Would you be open to having Francis back?
He would consider coming back to UFC if what? One thing I've learned over the years about Francis doesn't always mean what he says publicly. What he says behind the scenes are different than what he says publicly. I'm not a big fan. I would be shocked if Francis ever came back here on lots of different levels. I'm not a fan, and he doesn't always mean what he says publicly.
So it only took us a year to get to this point. Jon Jones is finally retired. And I don't know. I think his legacy might be tarnished by this move. What do you guys think? Stringing the whole division along for a year and then just retiring, even after he's offered all the money he asked for? I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would think he's a ducking Tom Aspinall, but that's just me. What do you guys think?
Man or no?
What would it take to fight Tom Aspinall from the UFC? Like, what does the UFC got to do?
Said something real wild on off the cuff. I'll see you guys later.
That's it.
Yeah,
right.
Thanks for the happy
Jon
beer.
Jones, the legend.
Yeah.
I mean, walking off like that from an interview, you know, it is scary to fight Tom Aspinall. The guy's been on a tear. He's the same size as Jon. He punches harder. He's probably faster. He's younger. He is the new breed of the heavyweights. And if I didn't know any better, I would think Jon Jones is stylistically, not a good matchup. Tom is not a stylistically good matchup for Jon. And, that just shows it. So many excuses over this past year. Tom is not a nice guy. I don't know, I don't want to fight him because he's too eager. Tom's just been asking for his chance, and Jon this whole time was just playing games. And honestly, as fans, we should be pissed because we could have some great matchups over the past year. Apparently now we're not going to get Francis back because Dana has an ego problem and he's not going to sign him back. But just imagine what kind of matchups we could have had. And now we don't got those because Dana has an ego. He loves Jon Jones. That's his favorite fighter of all time. And he hates this. He hates that Jon Jones, he was defending him for a year. There was such a propaganda going on about Jon, then Dana was at the forefront of it, that now he just looks very stupid doing that. Tom is a champion. He denied Tom all the opportunities. Tom beat the toughest opponents and, gave Jon, and if all of these other champions are getting stripped, Jon in this day and age, in Big 2025 had a year off. It was the nepotism of Conor levels where he got so much time to do whatever he wanted. Stylistically, do I think Tom would have beat him? Yeah, I think Jon knows that too. I think, he's younger, faster, stronger. He's not a novice on the ground like Cyril Gane. He has good jiu-jitsu, great boxing. He's faster, punches stronger. And I think he would have been the one guy to take that all away. But Jon just so scared of losing his little undefeated record, which we all know he isn't. He should have lost to Dom Reyes. He should have lost to Gustafsson, arguably. And he has that one, loss for the elbow. So, this whole legacy that he built was built on the aging light heavyweights that were smaller than him. But now, Whenever he's supposed to fight somebody his own size in the heavyweight, he retires. So, just gives a tarnish to his legacy, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to MMA Maverick.